Let me paint a picture real fast. Imagine you're on vacation with your family. You got your wife and your kids there with you. Your phone is off. You're not dealing with work. That means no customers complaining, no sales calls, none of that. You're just living in the moment with the family. So how do we actually get to that point in the business where we're able to step out, go on vacation, and come back with more money and confidence that we're going to have more money in the business? I'm going to cover it in 5 steps in this video. Step 5 is the real kicker here. Check it out. Jumping into this, there are 3 aspects of business that we first need to understand. We've got marketing. How do we actually get people in the door? We've got sales, which is how do we actually collect the money from them? And then we have production, which is actually fulfilling the work. In this video, we're not going to talk about the production side. We're focusing on the sales and marketing side of things today because that is the side of the business that if we really want to go on vacation, feel confident, and come back with more money, those 2 aspects need to be dialed in. All right, so jumping into step 1, sales. All right, there's really the big issue here with sales is most people think selling just comes naturally to some people. Some people have the gift of gab. That's not going to work, which is why a lot of people still end up just going off referrals only because referrals are really more along the lines of just taking orders versus actively selling. Now, how do we do it? How do we learn how to sell? All right, a couple options here. One of the ones that I'm going to call out is join the Contractor Sales Academy. All right, what the CSA is it's a program that teaches and shows contractors exactly the steps that it takes to bring somebody from the initial phone call to actually getting them to move forward with the project. It is very strategic in how it's done. It takes a little bit of practice, but once you get it, every single person that goes through the CSA says how much it truly has not only changed their business, but their personal life. So if you want to learn more about the CSA, there'll actually be a link in the description down here to go and check that out. Another option is work with us. We'll talk more about that later on because it's really going to help you for years and years and years down the road. But learning how to sell is going to be the very first step in any business to really set yourself up for the right foundation. Now, let's say we skip step 1 because we think we're really good at selling. We know how to sell whatever it is. What ends up happening, it's kind of like putting lipstick on a pig, right? Imagine we have a new salesman that we hired and they're making 100 cold calls a day, but they don't actually know how to sell or close people. So it doesn't matter if they make 1 call or they make 5,000 calls in a day, they're still not actually going to make a sale. And that's what we want to focus on here. Now that we have the sales process dialed in, the next step is getting people to know who you are. If you think about it for a second, think about if in your metro area or wherever you're located, if everybody there knew what it was like to be a customer of yours, think about how many people would then want to actually call you up and talk to you about getting a project put in their home. How do we do that? There's a multitude of ways, and they consist of online actions and offline actions, right? Joining a networking group, meaning a group of other business owners that you can pass referrals to. This could be a BNI group. This could be a Chamber of Commerce group. Whatever that is in your local area, pretty much all cities have some sort of networking group. Join those because referrals, again, are always going to be the easiest sells. So start that craft right there. Now, the online side of things, that's going to be the internet. That's going to be Google. That's going to be Facebook. That's going to be, hopping on like Nextdoor. Right? Places where when you put something out there, maybe it's a video that you create or whatever it is, more people are going to see it instead of just the one person that you're sending it to. All right, so getting the right type of people online over to you is going to be the best step here. Now, if you're curious about exactly like what more of those are and how it all really functions together, we'll go ahead and we'll link to a video that you should check out because it dives more in depth into a visual version of how this all comes together. Step 3 is hire an in-house media or videography person, and they're really going to be focused on social media. This is going to be somebody that is actively taking pictures, videos of your work, collecting customer testimonials. Essentially, they're taking all the amazing stuff that you're doing in people's homes, and they're actually putting it up online on social media to build more and more of those raving fans. Because at the end of the day, what homeowners really want is they want to see how they get to actually use the space that you're providing for them. And if they can see how other customers of yours are doing it, they're going to follow suit as well. And the best part is you don't have to do any of it. You just need to hire somebody to do all this stuff for you. Now, the idea of hiring an in-house media person is probably daunting. And the reason is you've probably never hired one before, nor have you even thought about hiring one before. Well, this is something that we over here at CGN, we have a couple guys. In fact, the one that's editing this right now is one of those guys. But we've also helped contractors go out, find, hire, and train that in-house media person. And now they don't have to deal with any of this stuff themselves. So I know you're probably thinking, wow, like I don't know how to do any of that stuff. Don't worry. When you get to that step, we got you covered if you want it. All right. So at this point, we have a good, efficient sales system. Now we have the marketing system built, working where people are coming to us. We also have somebody in-house running social media, showcasing the work that we do. Step 4 is going to be taking all of that and actually getting to the second level of selling. So the initial thought here is probably going to be go out and hire a salesman. All right, but before we do that, let's talk about and take the brakes off for a second, or put the brakes on, excuse me. What we want to do here is there's a lot of people that are going to be coming in because now that your brand's getting more well-known, they're probably going to want you to start doing larger, more in-depth projects because they really trust you because that's what we've built up in the first 3 steps. All right. Now, to do that and have larger projects, it's going to take a longer sales process and a more systematic approach to it. All right. Step 4 is all about establishing a process around really nurturing longer term relationships. All right. Because think about how long it's going to take you to sell a $5,000 project versus a $500,000 project, right? I know these are big numbers and they may seem scary, but people are going to really trust and want what you're doing. And a $500,000 project is going to take a little bit longer. But instead of you actually having to drive out to their house 10, 12, 15 times to finalize the deal, there's actually a whole system that you can do, and it's done via text message, which is crazy, but you're just taking the videos or the pictures or whatever it is that is going to really mirror or match what this prospect is looking for, and you're going to send those over to them. So it creates a personal touch. It doesn't take much time out of you because all you're doing is you're texting them a video that says, check this out, and they're watching the video and they're getting more involved with you. So the whole time it's taking you a couple minutes, you're just sending them exactly what they should see, and they're doing all the heavy lifting because they're the ones watching the video. But what this is really doing behind the scenes is this is you setting up a system of how to build a long-term relationship with somebody very, very efficiently. And this transitions us into step 5. All right, this is where the money is made. All right, remember back to that vacation example, right? And we're thinking here, when we go on vacation, we want more money in the bank account when we get back. And that is where hiring an in-house salesman comes in. All right, if we hire one too early, a lot of times we're going to burn them out because they, even though they may know sales or they may know the industry, they don't know your exact process. Okay? And the last thing we want is to hire them and have them get 3 months in and say, I'm not doing this, I'm leaving. That is why we're so big on hitting steps 1 through 4 first and then going into hiring somebody next. All right. So now we have a salesperson and they're following the exact process that you set up, right? They know how to sell. They have the leads coming in. They have somebody running social media for them. And now all they're having to do is on the short-term sales, close them with step 1. On the longer-term sales, the bigger sales, they're following step 4, which is they're texting these people. They're the ones now going to networking groups. They're the ones now, being more active on social media because they're the ones that people are going to talk to first. So they should really be the rock star of the company. So once we have those 5 steps in place, that is when you're actually able to go on that vacation. Be with your family. Have the phone off. You're not thinking about, is stuff blowing up? Am I going to have money when I come back? Because guess what? That is a machine that is now built up and you get to pop in or pop out of the business whenever you want because it's essentially running without you. And that is true freedom within the business. We've gone through all this stuff and now we're thinking, what is step 1, right? Well, remember back to it. Step 1 is that sales piece. All right. Now, this is a product that we actually provide. the kitchens that you build for people, it truly changes their life. Well, that's what I feel over here. And that's why I'm good with talking about this. So this EPP sales system, we have it internally. We've got over 120 contractors at this point that have also implemented this, that are also on their way to that vacation where they have more money in the bank and they're chilling. Click the link below. Check it out. Learn more about it and see if it's going to apply for your specific business. See you there.